According to a recent report by the National Bureau of Economic Research, approximately 28% of Americans say they would be unable to come up with $2,000 in a month's time in the event of an emergency. According to a recent national poll on ABC News, less than 45% of Americans have a will, though 75% claim to be preparing for their futures and the future of their children. Though statistics show an improvement in the notion of preparing for one's future among those above the age of 65, to say that most Americans are not taking their financial future seriously would be a substantial understatement.
Well, I wish I could paint a rosier picture. 45% of all working Americans have no retirement savings at all. More relevant, baby boomers, which is the ages of roughly 50 to 67, so those that have 10 or 15 years left to save or are at retirement age. Of that demographic, 1/3 have no retirement savings at all, and the next third has less than 1 year saved. So this is an issue that is the state of affairs. It also takes more to retire today. And our own research shows that if you want to retire at 65 and you spend all that you earn, you need about 15 times your annual salary to live to a normal life expectancy. And that includes the fact that you're drawing Social Security.
Well, we've done some financial planning. In my view, not enough. We do have some investments and a small portfolio. And, based on everything I'm told and read, it's not enough to retire on. I expect most likely to be working until I can't work anymore.
Global and domestic factors will make it more challenging for Americans to achieve their goal of financial independence than it was for the previous generation. Economists and other financial experts, as well as various trends forecasters, believe these factors will result in even lower overall economic growth.
Unfortunately, we've gone from a nation of savers that avoided borrowing to a nation that has become one of borrowers that tend to avoid savings. American savings rates are way too low to fund what we expect for our retirement futures at every level, whether it's at the individual, the local, municipal, and federal government level. It's time we have to face this. We have to all face it together as Americans and create the future we want to have, not only for ourselves, but especially for our children and those to come.
Whether it be storing food, water, and other emergency essentials in the event of a life-interrupting disaster, or preparing for your futures financially, one thing is certain. We need to take charge of our lives and become the self-sufficient characters that once made this nation the world's beacon for liberty and prosperity.
There are a few reasons why Americans aren't as well prepared for their retirement as they probably should be. The primary reason is education, in our opinion. Without financial education being a part of the core curriculum in elementary school or high school or even college, people enter the workforce without being well prepared to make the financial decisions they need to make early to be successful saving for their retirement. The second reason is life expectancy. Social Security, when it was first enacted, the average life expectancy was about 62 years old. Today, at 75 years old, it requires a significantly larger sum of money to sustain your lifestyle in retirement. The third reason is that the financial services industry, unfortunately, hasn't done a good job of providing solid, conflict-free advice to all Americans. Most Americans are served by salespeople who don't really have the foundation to help people make the financial decisions that will be rewarding over the long term.
I think that the current environment, financial environment, poses an extreme risk to the casual investor. And you either have to really do your homework to protect what you have, or have someone you can trust to do it for you. I have to go with the latter because I simply don't have the time to do that kind of homework. I'm too busy trying to do other things with my life and in my life.
Having another set of eyes, a sounding board, another perspective from someone we can trust, that we're confident has the experience and knowledge that we don't have, to mentor us, to help us navigate our lives in an open, complex world. Such counsel, such people, are often the difference between those that accomplish their goals and dreams and those that do not.
You know, whether you're just out of school, or a couple facing retirement, or one of our elected officials who is responsible for the welfare of our nation, we all need to do three things. The first is to face the challenge squarely. Ignoring it doesn't help the issue. You know, the old adage, if you don't make a choice, you're making a choice. So use the time you have to assess your options and assess that situation. The second thing is educate yourself, which likely involves getting some good advice or counsel. And finally, no surprise, develop a plan and execute it.
For those of you not quite so close to retirement, here are some specific suggestions. The first is to plan on saving at least 10% of your earnings every year. It's going to take quite a bit of money to fund your lifestyle for 20 to 30 years or more in retirement. The second is to diversify your investments. While it's always tempting to put your money in what's been working or what's been hot, stay diversified over the long term. That's your best bet to be successful. And along those lines, try to avoid fancy, over-engineered investment products. Those are often structured to benefit Wall Street salespeople, not to benefit yourself.
And if you're retiring today, you may need to get a little bit creative. This might involve some combination of working a little bit longer and perhaps adjusting where and how you live. But no matter what your position in life, we all need to do three things: identify and face the problem, educate ourselves, develop a plan, and get it done.
To learn more about Hokanson Associates, visit their website online at www.hokansonassociates.com or call them at 858-755-8899.